So I just thought I would do a short video on a BMW G30 520i. There's quite a lot of videos out there on the diesels and the higher powered petrol ones, but not too much on the base model. And I've got it as a rental car, taking it back today. We've had our 2 Series repaired, and I'm actually quite surprised. I didn't think I would like a standard 2 litre petrol. It's turbocharged, 184 horsepower, but actually it works quite well in the 5 Series, so just wanted to do a little report on it and maybe a quick walk around. So I'm taking it back to the garage now. The 2 Series is being repaired. We got hit from behind a few weeks ago, and this is the car that they've given us. And I have to say, it's responsive. I think it probably goes better than, or feels like it's going better than it actually is. Performance figures are pretty similar to the 2 Series that we've got, the 220D. And obviously the 520D shares the same engine. But what really stands out about this is just how nice it feels in the bends. I think probably having a smaller engine in the front, so it's lighter at the front, and it just feels really nice to drive. And having had an F30 330D before, I would say that it just feels a little bit more grown up than that, but it doesn't particularly feel like a bigger car than the 3 Series to drive, especially when you're sort of throwing it around. So yeah, in that respect, I really like it. Obviously this is the same engine, or same basic engine as the 530i, which has got 250 horsepower, and I wouldn't mind driving one of those just as a comparison, really, because I'd imagine just the extra 70 horsepower would probably make quite a bit of difference. So in terms of comparing it to our 2 Series, and that's probably similar economy to like a 520 diesel. On a run, this is really good. You're getting 40 plus miles to the gallon. In fact, when the car was delivered to me, the long-term miles per gallon on there was showing 39.6. It has come down to 38.9 now, but it's been doing a lot of town driving. We found that in reality it's probably doing nearer 25 to the gallon around town, and obviously on there, since I left home, it's actually only showing 21.7, but that should sort of go up as we're cruising along a bit more. So yeah, I think, as much as I hate to admit it, probably the 530e with the hybrid system would be a good compromise, using the electric around town and then letting the engine do the work on the motorway when it seems to be a lot more efficient. So I'm not going to go into all the big features of the G30 because it's standard and on all of them, and you can see plenty of videos on them. But it's got the usual heated seats. I'm sure, this being a rental, it's probably a bulk standard one. It's got the standard 18-inch wheels. Obviously sat nav is standard on all BMWs, and it's got the driving modes with comfort, which is obviously what its default, and then sport, which changes the dials as well. It's quite nice. And then you've got Eco Pro, which is just quite frankly boring. So let's do a performance test. We've got it in sport. put the gearbox over to the left hand side, and let's see what it's like from a standing start. Bit of wheel spin there. So standard 5 Series, 18-inch wheels. This is the M Sport, obviously. So there's not much you can say really about the outside. Obviously, 520i. One of the most impressive things for me is the interior. The seats really are comfortable, and certainly softer than the ones that you get on the 3 Series and the smaller models. So, but not much else you can say really on the car. It's the same as any other G30. So overall, really impressed with the car. For a bottom of the range executive car, so the handling's really nice, and it's obviously built nicely as you'd expect from a BMW. And yeah, it could do with more power, but I think you can always do with more power. When I had the 330D, which was remapped and around 300 horsepower, you still wanted more power. So not much else I can say really. It's a decent car, and it's exceeded my expectations for what I would have expected, and sort of makes me think that maybe this engine in a 3 Series, which I'd always discounted before, is probably not too bad. But having driven this now, I think I would probably have a 5 Series over the 3 if I was in the market for another saloon or estate car. It just feels a little bit more grown up and a little bit more refined. So that's the end of this video. As I said, just a quick video. I just wanted to do one really on the 520i, just to give people an idea of what the basic 5 Series is like. And yeah, pretty impressed with it, and now I'm going to hand it back and get my own car back. So see you in the next one. So back in the 2 Series, and it's nice having all the gadgets that we specified on this, but yeah, definitely driving back to back, the 5 Series is definitely a lot quieter, a lot more comfortable. I mean, this is great. It's got the sports seats and stuff, but yeah, that 5 Series is a couple of notches above. So one day maybe we'll get a 5 Series to replace this once we don't need the big boot and 7 seats.